you what.
All right, Dan.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Moneybags. I'm gonna make this more interesting for you. How about we double it? $2 million. $2 million says I beat your boy Dylan Dennis. I know you're gonna see this. I know you're gonna see this clip.
God damn.
You're coaching him. You're guiding him. He's definitely gonna show up, right? Yeah, fuck you. Both of you are all bark, no bite. $2 million that says I beat your boy. I will send you the contract tomorrow.
Wow.
But no, he's not gonna respond. All bark, no bite.
And like, there's something about like calling somebody out, which you immediately respect them a little bit more, like willing to put yourself out there for a fight.
A new name for yourself. Look at what has happened to Michael Perry. You know, one of our big stars here, the King of Violence. He titles himself, and you know he's had such a rise in the sport. Now he's up against you know, a little dweeb of a thing in a fight this weekend that we're all.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when Logan Paul turned down a fight with Conor McGregor. Here's a chance for one of the biggest names in the influencer world to step into the ring with a legend. And what does he do? He politely declines. Naturally, Joe couldn't resist calling him out. Logan's always boasting about being a warrior. But when the time comes to face a real fighter, he backs out quicker than a flimsy deck chair.
I would like to fight Conor. I think it'd be really cool.
Do you think that you're too big for him?
I could cut to 185, and he's.
But size-wise, Conor was most effective at 145.
Yeah, but we'll always come back to, like, he's a professional fighter. I'm a YouTuber, you know, and so that's supposed to be the give and take of it. Like, why would I, a YouTuber who's own one, have any business beating the great Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor is due to fight Logan Paul, not to be confused with Jake Paul, in India, for $250 million each. $250 million is more than Tyson and Usyk combined. Not even close. For just Conor will make more than Usyk and Fury made combined.
Jake Paul, Conor McGregor. Is that fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never completely closed off to anything. I used to say that about, you know, things, but I don't say that anymore.
Smart.
Because you never know. You never know what could happen.
Let's not pretend this was just any match. This was Conor McGregor, the trash-talking, headline-stealing Irishman. A fight with him could have shattered pay-per-view records, given Logan real credibility, and shown if he could actually fight. But instead, Logan solidified his legacy as someone who avoids real fights, but never shies away from drama.
My only concern too is if Conor doesn't take this serious, and like kind of moseys in, he's partying, you know, I think he could get fucked up. That's what's interesting to me. Now, if it's prime Conor, Logan might get pieced up. One point you gotta get it to Paul brothers. One fought Mike Tyson, the other's fighting Conor McGregor. No matter how you feel about it. The right to fight Logan Paul, and Dana hates the Pauls. You know how Dana holds grudges. We know how he holds grudges. For him to be in cahoots with the Paul brothers in any facet.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back, calling out the sheer absurdity of Logan Paul's decision. He laughed at how the YouTube star turned WWE sideshow somehow managed to create a storyline more ridiculous than his matches. Sarcastically, Joe pointed out that only Logan could turn down the fight of a lifetime with one of UFC's greatest stars at a legendary venue like Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium, probably because he's too busy perfecting his teddy bear wrestling skills in WWE.
I would assume Logan's very busy. I would assume that he probably didn't come up with this on his own. I would assume that someone probably came to him with this project. This is just total assumption, guessing on my part.
So we have text messages from behind the scenes. A lot of people, the people who were responsible for it say Logan kind of spearheaded the idea. And he says he spearheaded the idea.
So it was his idea.
Logan Paul's reputation as a fighter has always been questionable, to put it mildly. His notable achievements in the ring include a split decision loss to KSI and a disqualification win over Dylan Dennis. Not exactly a shining record. Joe Rogan didn't hesitate to break down the Dennis situation, calling it more of a circus act than a legitimate boxing match. According to Rogan, Dennis threw fewer punches in 6 rounds than most people do during warm-ups with a punching bag. Logan's so-called big win came after Dennis attempted to choke him mid-fight. As Rogan put it, that's not a victory, that's an escape from embarrassment.
Conor McGregor and Logan Paul are featured as part of the historic Visit India tourism campaign, so it's government funded, yeah? It's a clash in Mumbai, iconic stadium. The two will be rewarded for their efforts, with McGregor set to walk away with $250 million. That's more than to fight Floyd.
Let's return to Conor McGregor. Love him or hate him, McGregor brings a level of star power and credibility few can match. Sure, he hasn't fought since 2021 and his record isn't flawless, but even a half-injured McGregor is miles ahead of Logan Paul. Joe put it bluntly, Conor would dismantle Logan with one leg. Heck, he could do it blindfolded, and it would still be over in less than 3 rounds.
The event will be funded by the Ambani family dynasty, the richest in India. See how much they're worth? So 500 million has to be pennies for them. So India's Ambani family tops Forbes list of Asia's richest families. You know how rich you got to be Asia's richest family? Singapore, India's Ambani family tops 2017 Forbes list.
The proposed $250 million payday for each fighter was another juicy detail Joe Rogan couldn't resist mocking. $250 million. That's not just life-changing money. That's buy your own island and never see a Paul brother again money. Yet, Logan walks away from it. Either he's got more money than sense, or he knows exactly how disastrous that fight would be. Logan Paul, the self-proclaimed internet sensation turned wannabe fighter, is truly living up to his family legacy. He's Jake Paul's older brother, and if there's one thing they both share besides their last name, it's their talent for cherry-picking fights. Jake, the king of hand-picked opponents, famously avoided real boxers until he couldn't anymore. Logan's no different. In fact, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. It practically rolled straight into Jake's backyard.
I would love to do a UFC fight.
Man, who the hell are you gonna fight, bro?
Who do you want me to fight, Mike?
Maybe Conor or something.
Remember Jake's legendary challenge to Mike Tyson? That wasn't just a random choice. Tyson, in his 50s, is far from his prime. Sure, he's still a boxing icon, but let's be real, he's not the same Iron Mike who once dominated the heavyweight division. Logan, inspired by Jake's boldness, seems to be following a similar path. Big names, low risks. It's a strategy that's more about protecting a brand than proving actual skill. Logan's fight history follows the same pattern. A match with Floyd Mayweather, a 50-0 boxing legend, sounds impressive, until you realize it was an exhibition with zero stakes. Floyd didn't even train seriously for it, and Logan barely landed a punch. Meanwhile, Jake has kept himself busy fighting aging MMA fighters and basketball players, carefully sidestepping real boxers at every turn. At this point, the Paul brothers might as well trademark the term strategic opponent selection.
Yeah,
with
the movie's
Jabber
great,
Jaw.
man. G and Jake Gyllenhaal.
That might work. I don't know what was going on there.
Oh, you know what was going
I
on,
know
brother.
what was going on
You
there.
know what was going on.
When Conor McGregor's name came up, it was Logan's chance to do something different, actually face someone with credibility and skill. But what did he do? The same thing Jake would have done, backed off faster than he dodges tough questions in interviews. After all, why face someone like McGregor when you can stick to safe, profitable bouts against opponents who either can't box or are well past their prime? Joe Rogan also delved into the psychology behind Logan's decision. This isn't about money or fame. Rogan argued that Logan thrives in controlled environments like WWE, where he can script his moves. In Misfits boxing, he picks opponents who barely pose a threat. But McGregor? That's a whole different ball game. That's stepping into the ring with someone who could destroy your brand in under 10 minutes. And that's really the heart of the matter. Logan Paul isn't a fighter, he's a showman. His entire career revolves around creating spectacles, not proving himself. Joe laid it out perfectly. Logan doesn't want to be a fighter, he wants to look like one. There's a big difference. Fighters take risks, even when the odds are stacked against them, while showmen pick their spots and hope no one notices the strings. The Mumbai angle added another layer of absurdity. The fight was supposed to be part of India's tourism campaign, and Rogan couldn't resist poking fun at the idea. Imagine flying halfway across the world just to watch Logan Paul get knocked out in front of 30,000 screaming fans, he joked. That's not a tourism campaign, that's a live-action meme. But Rogan didn't stop there. He took aim at the broader trend of influencer boxing, calling it a sideshow disguised as a sport. Logan Paul, according to Joe, is the poster child for this phenomenon. We've gone from gladiators fighting for honor to influencers playing dress-up in the ring. Rogan said, his frustration palpable. It's like turning the Olympics into a TikTok dance-off.
Now, if it's prime Conor, Logan might get pieced up. One point, you gotta get it to Paul brothers. One fight Mike Tyson, the other's fighting Conor McGregor. No matter how you feel about it.
Logan's entire persona is built on marketing and theatrics, and Joe pointed out that his rejection of the McGregor fight isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a glaring admission that he's not ready for the big leagues. Logan talks a big game, but when it's time to back it up, he's nowhere to be found. He's like a wrestler who runs out of the ring the moment the bell rings, Rogan said. And yet, Logan somehow keeps winning, not in the ring, but in the court of public attention. Rogan acknowledged that Logan's decision to duck McGregor might actually work in his favor. This guy knows how to spin anything into a narrative. He'll probably say McGregor's not worth his time or some nonsense like that, and his fans will eat it up like it's gospel.